Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 553. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, everybody?
And Brian Manjoma.
Yet another Fortnite dance was banned.
Oh, no. It happens, man. It's crazy. All right, guys, we are back. Adam's at the TV terminal, probably. I'm going to assume. In general, like, if Adam's not around, he's at the TV terminal. Maybe he'll do what happened on Thursday and show up literally as I'm doing the outro. That would be hilarious. We'll see. Chris is taking a break and Brett's also out, so you're stuck with us. But we got Richard Bailey back, which is a good thing. Some people were asking me, where's Rich? Where's Rich at, man? I miss Rich. So Rich is back, people. There you go. Oh, man. Rich, let the people know how you've been, man.
Back. Yeah, well, for those that were asking questions, thanks for giving the shout-outs. I was just visiting family in Boston. My niece had a birthday. She turned 6, so I had to make sure that I was there for that because they asked me a lot of questions about, when are you coming back to Boston to visit? So, so I wanted to do that before we get into this very busy season of gaming reviews and stuff like that. So that's where I was at. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be back on the show.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I want to give a shout out to the fans because I'm going to be real for this whole summer. Like, you guys have not been asking a bunch of questions, so some of these episodes have been a little rough. Today, though, we got a lot of questions, so shout out to you guys. Remember, we do this show for you guys, so, don't hesitate. Ask questions. That's what the show's about, man. Because I was just like, we have to shut down this fucking show. We got to a point where, like, we got to just start making up stuff. To ask.
I mean, I'll give it to us though, man. We had like episodes we only had less than 5 questions.
Dude, we did one episode where we literally just had one question. We rode that right. Motherfucker.
Yeah, boy. That's how you do it, man. That's called professional.
That's right. It was a C grade question too. Not that questions are bad, but it was a question I would normally get like a 1 or 2 minute thing and move on. No, we rode that motherfucker, so that's how it is. But yeah. Now we got a lot of questions. We're going to obviously give each question its due, but we're not going to spend like 50 minutes on one question, like we sometimes do. That happens, man. One question, we're there for an hour. Like, bro, we still got 10 more. All right, let's get into it. So we're starting off, and I'm doing this just in the order they came. Because sometimes I put them in a specific order. I'm like, first come, first serve order. All right, first question is from Alex the Great. I like that name, man.
Alex the Great.
Yes.
We can't do it, right?
No, don't do it. Alex, just do me a favor. Whatever you do, do not go vacationing anywhere near Iraq. You might get a fever, So don't do that.
But you might also pave the way for Christianity somehow?
Well, you got to cut the Gordian knot first,
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So he goes, I'm a first-time poster, but long-time listener. This is the kind of stuff I love, man. Like, obviously, like most podcasts or most people, like shows in general, most of the audience just chills. They just listen, Like, this is why you always see a lot of the regulars. But so it's always cool to have what I affectionately call lurkers show up. So shout out to you, man. I'm glad you've been supporting us. He's in a long time, so yeah. I respect that, man. First question here is, what do you guys think about the quality of this year's games so far? I was pleasantly surprised by the likes of Expedition 33, Silksong, and Oblivion Remastered. I thought this year I would be tackling my backlog. Yeah, this year's actually surprisingly been pretty good. We've had a lot of decent releases, Matter of fact, while you guys, start answering this question, I'm going to bring up games I beat this year. Never mind, I already got it. So this is the games I've played already, bro. Monster Hunter Wilds, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Doom: The Dark Ages, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Mario Kart World, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles. And those are the new games that I beat. And, I threw in a couple, like there's some older ones I played, but yeah, it's been a pretty stacked year. I said this on the show, I'm going to purposely try. I am going to be playing Ghost of Yotei, and I'm going to try to play some of Expedition 33 just for, so I have full knowledge to be rounded out for Game of the Year. I will exclude myself from Hades because I didn't like the first Hades. I doubt this one is going to change my mind either. But yeah, I'm surprised. I haven't played this many games for this whole generation. Basically, like every year, it's just smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I think last year was probably the smallest for me, or it may have been the year before that. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. What say you, Carlos? What was been your experience with gaming this year?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is one of the strongest years of this generation. Like Tony mentioned in his list, out of the top of my head, I think I played Monster Hunter Wilds. I started Death Stranding 2. Donkey Kong Bonanza, beat that. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, beat that. What else? Mario Kart. And a couple other games I can't remember. What's it called? Not Lost Odyssey. Expedition 33. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played a fair share of games, and I still got some more to play. I still need to play Shinobi. I still need to play Hollow Knight. So looking forward to that. And yeah, like Tony mentioned, this year's been pretty good. Although I will say it's a little bittersweet because a lot of the games that we've enjoyed are sort of remakes.
Yeah.
Like remakes or sort of just classics redone. So that's one of the aspects where unfortunately, like those are some of the strongest, but they're still great games. So yeah, overall pretty successful year so far. So looking forward to how the year ends. It was supposed to end with a certain GTA game coming out. That's not the case. So like every other year, we 2023 is going to be stacked. 2025 is going to be stacked. 2026 is going to be stacked. So you got to look. We're looking forward to that too.
Yeah. What do you say, Rich? I know you've played a lot more games than I have this year.
Oh, I agree 1,000% with what both you and Carlos said. It's been a fantastic year for games. Like you said, I gotta make sure I get this pronunciation correct. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Gaiden or Gaiden, it doesn't matter. Yeah, fantastic game. Shinobi, outstanding. And what I can say is, I'm actually playing a couple of games that are not out yet that I may have something to say about in the future. But yeah, I would say it's been a great year so far. But to go to Carlos's quote, I will make one comment and say 2026 is definitely going to be a stacked year. If all that stuff that is planned is actually coming, yeah, it's going to be very busy. But this has been a solid year, I would say, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Brian, what say you?
Yes.
I
agree.
That was Brian's version of I agree with everything that has been said. Manny, have you played anything new this year?
I mean,
besides Metal Gear.
Metal Gear and I was playing the Sword of the Sea.
Oh, there you go.
That was a fun one. I mean, I still have to go through it, but it's a fun game. It's by some of the same creators who did what is that? Journey and Flower.
Journey.
So it sort of feels like a weird sort of combination of all those games where you're like sliding around on sand, but you bring back life to a desert, kind of like the little bit of both. And it has a nice kind of large world that you sort of can explore and surf around on your sword. So I played that. And yeah, there's Metal Gear. And then I sort of been going, I haven't had a lot of time to play things because I've just been doing things. But yeah, no, that's all the things that I could think of off the top of my head. Oh, I guess Indiana Jones, but that's an old game, isn't it?
Yeah. But, listen, it's technically nominated for, it could be nominated for a Game of the Year award this year. So I'll count it.
Could be. Yeah. So, I mean, I still need to play the DLC for that thing, but I enjoyed that. I mean, in general, from what I've seen, and I do think that he's right, where it's like there's a lot of games that have just come out pretty damn polished for what they are, and not including the obviously the sort of remake slash or in a same thing like Metal Gear or a sequel like Silent Hill F, but everybody seems to be real happy with a lot of the stuff that's coming out. So I don't know, maybe something's budging. I don't know.
Maybe it only took 5 years.
It only took 5 years. I mean, to be honest, I could have postponed buying my PlayStation to this year, and it would have. Oh wait, no, shouldn't postpone my PlayStation this year because the price just went up, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You bought it at the right time, man.
I got my shit for a deal.
Yeah,
it's literally buying it.
No, man, you actually did make an investment. What you bought, the price went up. The value went up, so that's an investment. That's crazy, man.
Stupid shit.
Yeah. All right. Another question here from Mr. Alex the Great. Do you guys have any thoughts on Ananta? Some people are calling it a GTA killer, if you can believe that. And Mob Hits also asked a question about this game. Could Ananta be sued for ripping off game mechanics? So if you guys remember on the last episode, I said, we had so much stuff to cover because it was a TGS show that I had to leave some stuff off. This is one of them. So a trailer for a game came out called Ananta. Visually, it looks like an anime game, but this shit literally has every game in it. It has fucking GTA driving shit. It has fucking Spider-Man swinging physics. It has Uncharted shit, some GTA 5 sniper stuff. I'm like,
Yakuza?
What is Yakuza? I'm like, yo. So, the question is is this game going to be another Pal World situation? You're going to have five fucking studios on your ass.
To be honest, it's way more than that.
It's way more. I just named a couple.
No, but I mean Pal World, for the most part, is not with the exception of the way some of the animal design, the creature designs are, and some of the way you do it, but the gameplay loop is not like fucking Pokemon. You're not only battling monsters against each other. You have other things, but this one is blatantly but I hate to say it, but it wasn't it's a Taiwanese studio, right? A Chinese studio?
Probably is. Probably.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. So it's obviously with
Hangzhou. I'm guessing that's China.
Yeah. So that's now we're at the age of where now those companies that are trying to get those,
Let me look at this fucking trailer.
There's more exposure to these things, so now you're gonna have the blatant ripoff, and it's coming from a place like China where they don't do any sort of due diligence or copyright. When it comes to copyright law, there's so many things that have come from China that are literally ripoffs.
Yeah.
It says for any global press inquiries, contact NetEase.
Oh, there you go. NetEase. Look at this shit, bro.
Yeah. Why NetEase should know fucking better, but then again,
there's the Yakuza part. GTA was right before that, and then the JRPG graphics. There's a little bit of Persona there. There's the Spider-Man. Oh, the selfies. That's another thing from Spider-Man and a couple other games.
Yeah, where you can essentially what is it? Do all kinds of little actions with people in the street. But
the Spider-Man physics, what the fuck are we doing right now?
But unlike Spider-Man, though, you can actually punch the civilians.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man, you can't when you're on the ground next to people, you can't attack.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
This guy, he can. You show him kicking somebody across the room.
Yeah, they're Spider-Man like combat here.
And it's got the crazy weapons like sort of like old Saints Row.
Yeah, that's right. Damn, it's just video game the video game.
It's video game the video game.
It's even got a Mad Max type of thing, like a lot of other things. Copy.
Yeah,
playing the guitar on the car.
This is insane. I'm like, this guy, like, he has venom powers. What is happening here?
For some reason, he's swinging around like Venom.
So yeah, like, well, I don't know, man.
It depends.
Yeah, what up?
It depends on how it goes. Yeah.
Did you see the spider bot?
No, not yet. I did see the spider bot. I did. Yes. That's what that was. Oh, there goes the rocket launcher. They don't care, bro. Oh, he's wearing a Canada jacket. There's ripping off Akira. Why not? You know.
I mean, he's wearing like a Persona 3 outfit at one point.
This is absolutely insane. Well, yeah, there's the spider. He does the web fucking like he goes into like what do you call it? It was an air shaft like Spider-Man does.
Yep.
Oh,
so he could do he could do everything.
Wow. He even does the 3-point landing like Spider-Man. So yeah, we'll see about this game, bro.
It'll be interesting to see.
Actually, I heard this was Rich's most anticipated game.
I heard the same.
I don't know who you guys' sources is for this information. Let me make a comment about this because I did receive an email about this game with the trailer, So and I will say I think it's quite interesting. They definitely are pulling from a lot of different games, but I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this story ends. And I saw there was a comment about could this lead to lawsuits? I don't know about all that. We'll have to wait and see. But I will say I am intrigued. And again, the main thing here, this is a free-to-play game. They're not charging anybody to play this game. So that's I think that's going to get some people interested to try it out as well.
Yeah. I just saw a part where like you could like jump into somebody else's body in another part of the city, just like GTA 5. There's a spider robot. Jesus.
I saw the trailer, right? Guess what channel I saw it in?
Which one?
YouTube channel. PlayStation.
Yep.
So
that's interesting.
I don't know if they're gonna sue. Also, the top comment.
I don't know if they've seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they haven't seen it.
They haven't.
The top comment says, "Which genre is this game?" Yes.
Yes.
It's every genre.
Yep, that's the answer. Yes. That's wild, man.
Yeah. I'm watching this trailer, and it seems like he does whatever a spider can. I've seen him spin a web any size and catch thieves just like flies.
Watch out. Yeah, watch out, Brian. Here comes Ananta. That's crazy, man. Look at this shit. Yeah, China doesn't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't give a fuck. So yeah, we'll see about this game. All right, let's move on here. Alpha Chuck asking a few questions here. All right. Question for me. Tony, what are your thoughts on Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles? This was another thing we couldn't get to on Thursday. I think, by the way, I checked, the Thursday show was like, even though it wasn't crazy long by our standards, it definitely was the longest show we've done in a while, like almost 2.5 hours. Because, TGS is a lot of shit, plus all the other stuff that happened. So I want to talk about Ivalice Chronicles. I didn't get a chance to, so I'll do so now. I'll do a mini review. Because I had played not the original Final Fantasy Tactics, but the one that was on PSP, War of the Lions. And I didn't get very far in that. Like the first chapter, took me forever to beat because there was so much grinding because the game is brutal. It's very unforgiving. So I dropped it, but I got to check out, and I told you guys this, I got to check it out at an event a couple weeks ago, and it finally clicked with me. So yeah, I've had this game for almost a month now. Beat it last week on Tuesday, I believe, and it's great, man. you know a game is good when it like kind of sticks with you. You know, the story and shit. As a matter of fact, I wrote a article for Tom's Guide. I believe it's up now about how this game scratches my. I'm going to say Game of Thrones, but it's really A Song of Ice and Fire. It scratches that specific itch because I've been waiting for Winter. That shit ain't coming. This is obviously not as in-depth as that, but it has a lot of that feel, you know, because both sources are based on, you know, the real-life War of the Roses. So Wars of the Roses. War of the Roses is a movie. Wars of the Roses. And so there's a lot of that, you know, whole like nobility betraying shit, kingdoms fighting each other. And just like, you know, Game of Thrones, you know, there's this like otherworldly threat that's looming, but the kingdoms are too busy fighting each other and shit. And like, even though this game's old, no spoilers here, but by the end, I was just like, damn, bro, really? Like it was not a happy ending, you know, because Final Fantasy, even like the darker ones, there's always some kind of happy ending, a little bit of hope. This one is like, fuck, damn, you know, great. I really enjoyed the combat. It finally clicked with me. It's a tactical RPG. Now, I will say that Valkyria Chronicles, which is also a tactical RPG, was what kind of also ruined this game for me initially, because in Valkyria Chronicles, it's like, yes, you're limited to where you can move characters and what they can do when they get to a specific spot. But for example, let's say an enemy character runs near your character will automatically attack them. So if you set things up right, you could actually take out their enemy squad with only you taking one like turn. And this one is not like that. If an enemy gets close to you, your characters won't auto attack. But there are instances, depending on how, you know, your jobs and stuff, if they attack, you'll like auto counter, you know, so that's good. The job system is really good. If you played Final Fantasy 3, 5, or the Bravely Default games, you know what you're in for. I really enjoyed that aspect, like mixing and matching like different job skills of different classes and shit. That also makes the game more grindier, obviously. But I enjoyed it. But the thing that really sticks out to me, besides the story, is the dialogue. It's so good. Like for this game, they're using the War of the Lions script, but it's all fully voice acted, you know. You know, that Elizabethan type of script, you know, thou art a villain, you know, shit like that. Love it. Great, you know. And one thing I was reading an interview with the developers, and they said that they did have to rework the script a little bit because the original script was meant to be read. This one is meant to be heard, you know. And if you know that, like, for example, I could vouch for this too. Like, the stuff I write, if I have to make a video version of it, I have to rework it because it's like dialogue isn't the same as writing. So they had to do some of that, but it still stays pretty true to it. I beat the game. I did most of the side quests. Actually, I think I did all of them except for one. And it took me like 66 hours to beat the game over the course of a month. And I recommend it, man. If you're a JRPG fan, if you're looking for a Final Fantasy game that doesn't feel like Final Fantasy, this is it. I know I'm saying like the same shit people have been saying about this game for like the last 20 whatever years, but you know, to me, it's pretty much new and it's just great. It just surprised me how it filled that specific niche of Game of Thrones or Winter. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. You know? Blitz says he's going to pick it up tomorrow. Yeah, it's on Switch. I'm really curious to see how it plays on Switch because it seems to me, because it was really good on the Vita, you know, playing it PSP and Vita, playing it on that. So I think there's a good kind of mobile game in that sense. So yeah, Ivalice Chronicles, some good stuff, man. All right, let's move on here. Another one from Alpha Chuck. Considering that Insomniac's forte is lighthearted games or games that are just not grim, do you think it could struggle with hitting the right tone in Wolverine? Their last M-rated game was Sunset Overdrive in 2014, and that was still silly and over the top. I didn't think about it. It's a good question. Like, I think they will, just based on the trailer. It looked fucking brutal, which is really cool. But I didn't think about it. Oh, yeah, for the most part, like the Spider-Man games, I wouldn't call them like silly and whatever light, but they're not like dark or whatever, they're nothing like The Last of Us or even the Ghost of Tsushima games. Like, yeah, they don't really in some of that games you don't walk away feeling bad playing them,
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I mean, the thing about it is like why, Wolverine, yes, can get dark, but it's not like such a dour.
No, it's not. But I think he's really talking about just the tone, like because it's not dark, but it's brutal. It's not happy-go-lucky,
No, but I mean, yeah, but I don't think, to be honest, I don't think that it's that much of a. We're still talking about comic book action.
Yeah, so it's just bloodier. Yeah,
it's just bloodier. So I mean, like, to be honest, I don't think they'll have any issues with it. And like to use Sunset Overdrive was supposed to be a party.
Yeah,
like that game was supposed to. You're not supposed to take that game serious.
Yeah, I think he's using it because of the M rating, just like Wolverine is going to have. But that's a different kind of M rating, It's
a different kind of M rating. It's like it's like comparing apples and oranges. Sunset Overdrive, you're not at no point where did you ever think that Sunset Overdrive was supposed to be considered serious. It's supposed to be like a goofy like pretty much it's like Deadpool the game. It's like goofy, like hey, look, they're talking at the camera. But people get mutated by soda. It's supposed to be goofy.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll have too much trouble hitting a serious tone. We'll see, because they may throw random stupid stuff in there, but I don't think they'll have too much of a problem. Because the Spider-Man games are already pretty serious. It's just this one is just make it harder, just what I'm saying with the say just it's like instead of like beating up guys, you're chopping them in pieces,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
don't think they'll have a problem portraying that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're doing Last of Us all of a sudden.
No, yeah, it's not that. Wolverine has never been about that. Rich, I want to get your thoughts on Wolverine because obviously you weren't here to give your thoughts, but what did you think of, what we saw during TGS, State of Play specifically?
Well, to be quite honest, after watching that State of Play, I will say this: Wolverine saved the show. Now I know everybody was looking at Soros and said, "Look at this, Returnal 2," but it's a different title. I am going to play Soros because I did enjoy Returnal, but Wolverine, yes, I think the trailer was fantastic. It's the right amount of brutality that I would love to see in a Wolverine game. I will say this, that was a great question that was asked about the mature rating. I don't think there's going to be an issue with the tone. However, I will say in Spider-Man, we got those Mary Jane missions. I do not want to see them do that with Mystique in this game. So that's the only thing I want to make very clear, because I believe we heard rumors there are going to be other playable characters in this game when they had the leaks. But outside of that, the game looks great. And I will also add this fun fact. The actor who they have playing Wolverine is the same actor that was in the Spartacus show, not the original actor, because that original actor passed away.
Second Spartacus,
Yeah, so I think that was a very good casting, for sure.
That's cool. All right, let's move on.
One thing I was thinking about it was like, I'm like, oh, and I said this on the show, so I'm like, so yet again, we're getting getting an Australian actor to play Wolverine.
That's funny. All right, let's move on. Another one from Alpha Chuck. I'm not a fan of the new ROG Xbox pricing, but I do have to wonder, is it actually, quote unquote, overpriced? Multiple handhelds are priced in the same range or more expensive. I have not personally dug into the tech specifications, and I don't need a new handheld. Steam Deck for the win. Is the price not comparable to what we are getting? Unfortunately, it is comparable, and that's the problem because prices went up this year for all the handhelds, all of them. I think Steam Deck is like the only one that didn't go up, so that's what kind of makes it more upsetting. The price is already pretty brutal, but it's even more brutal because all the prices jumped up before it went out. So I was like, oh, fuck. Because, I believe the original ROG Ally was $699, right? And that was with the Z1 Extreme chip. You know, if things weren't so crazy, I think this one maybe would have been like $100 more tops, right? If not the same price. But with the tariffs and all the and how, as we discussed, how companies are using tariffs as an excuse, all the prices went up. I told the story before, and I'll say it again. Literally, there was one morning where my boss was like, "Hey Tony, the price of some handhelds went up. Can you do a story on it?" I'm like, "Got you." So I went to Best Buy and I looked at the price of the ROG Ally and the MSI Claw. Those were the main two. And they had each gone up by like $150. I'm writing my story. I am not kidding you guys. I had this shit done like 45 minutes later. I was ready to give it to an editor. The prices went down within this 45 minutes, bro. That shows you how unstable shit is. But now they've settled, and unfortunately, they're settled on the high end. Now the ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme, last time I checked, it's $999. It went up $300, bro. So yeah, you are right that the ROG Ally pricing, for the Xbox One, it's the same as all the others. Unfortunately, the Legion Go is about to be dropping, towards sometime in October. And it's $10.99 for the regular model with the regular Z2 chip, and then $13.49 for the Z2 Extreme. And I heard it's actually $14.50 for one with 2 terabytes of storage. Like, bro, so that is still the most expensive one. But yeah, you are right. The price is comparable to all the other ones. It is actually not exorbitant, which is a bad thing, So yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I remember when we were discussing the potential prices of the Xbox ROG Ally and the X. We said for the high end, it's going to be $899.
Yep.
Me and Tony said it, and for me, I was like, I'm baking that it's gonna, I'm baking in that it's gonna be a higher price. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna be expensive, and I'm like, the market conditions said, hold my beer.
Oh, here we go.
So,
but here's the thing, Carlos, and I think you did this too. I did account for quote unquote market conditions because I think I originally said $7.99, and I was like, oh wait, tariffs and all this other stuff, but
yeah, because it's we've been having this conversation for years now. It's not even this year, with the PlayStation 5 price. Remember that?
Yeah.
In the Xbox. So it's just been a steady and incline for prices when it comes to these things, and like you mentioned, you can't say one is overpriced or not when the whole entire market has the exact same pricing structure. So even with its own competitors, except for the Steam Deck, everything else is pretty much the same price. So
fucking Valve took $80 off the base Steam Deck this week because they can,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that people, if they're willing to buy them, there's no incentive to go down in price. And remember, we're having conversations about is the Switch going to go down in price at the end of the year? I'm like, they went the other way.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. Crazy times.
Yeah. In this instance, like, because I've said this multiple times that that tariffs are being used as an excuse, but I never said they're not a factor either, right? Like, if you look at the price of the ROG Ally, right, the Xbox One in Europe, it's $200 less, man. Effectively, like you got to account for difference between the euro and the dollar, but it's like €4.99 versus €8.99, so or €7.99, some shit like that. So it's obviously more expensive here, It's crazy, man.
It used to be the other way around.
Yeah. Now the euro is a little bit lesser than the dollar. It's by 17 cents for each dollar. Like basically €1 dollar or whatever, it's €1 is the equivalent of $1 $1.17. So we got a little bit more. But yes, you're right. There was a time not too long ago where the euro was valued more, you know. I remember there was one model, she only took money in euro because it was worth more. I bet she changed her fucking mind. You know?
I mean, I
the euro is worth more.
What happened, Carlos?
I used to love.
The euro is worth more.
Is it? Am I reading this wrong?
Yeah,
Because it says €1 is and 117. So
yeah, it means the pricing power of a euro is more than $1. So, for example, like a pound is like $1.50 or something like that, some crazy thing like that.
yeah.
So it means that the pricing power of the euro and the pound.
Remember, people, Tony's so good with math. But regardless, my point stands. You're paying less if you're buying this in Europe. You know.
Yeah,
it's crazy. What are you gonna say, Manny?
No, I'm just gonna say, man, I used to love getting works from overseas because you get some serious money from the UK and the European Union.
So, Carlos, I'm reading this right. Like you get 17 cents more in Europe per dollar. Or am I bugging?
Yeah, your pricing power is 17 cents more.
Yeah,
in Europe than in the US. Yep.
Listen, that shit adds up, man.
Oh yeah. When I went to especially when I went to London, yeah, my Chromie dollar didn't go as far.
Yeah, check this out. So something that would cost 500 euros would cost $582. So yeah, yeah, euro is still strong. All right. Another one from Alpha Chuck. Oh no, wait. I think that was that was the last one from him. Good stuff. All right, let's move on here. Assyrian Air Force goes, "Hey everyone, I hope it was a good week for you." Yes, it was. We hope you had a good week as well. Not surprising. All his questions are about handhelds. That's all he's talking about in the chat. You know. Oh, hold on, real quick. Dumeke says, "Here in New Zealand, the Ally is damn. I can't even read that. It's 1,799 NZD, which works out to be which works out to be 1,037. So you guys are getting a little bit better of a deal, I guess."
And he says it includes tax. So
okay, so maybe the same.
So for us, it would be like 1,100 and something dollars.
Fuck. Yeah, they're still getting a little bit cheaper, you know.
We got to get Blitz has got to be our dealer now.
That's it, man. Are they gonna do the haka for that too? You know. Yo, Blitz, we were talking about like somebody tweeted us out and it was perfect. It's like I feel like, you know, dudes from New Zealand will do the haka even if they're not asked to do the haka. I'm like, bring it, keep it coming, man. I like seeing it, you know. All right, so Assyrian Air Force. Will the rumored PlayStation 6 handheld be affordable, and will it use Windows 11? I'm going to say no to both of those, but it's a good question. What operating system is that thing going to use? I'm guessing it's probably like a version of the PlayStation. It has to, right? Because remember, Manny, just real quick, because the rumors are that the PS6 handheld is going to basically, you know, it's obviously play games between your regular PlayStation and this thing. It has to have the same operating system then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, why would it use Windows? It's not going to run PC games. It's just going to be running whatever's on the PlayStation ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think. It wouldn't make any sense why it would have Windows. You know, they want you to play. If the rumors are true, these are all rumors. So, you know, take it how you will. That it's supposed to be basically a handheld version of the PS6. It would have to run PlayStation's operating system. But my question is, can you sideload Windows on that thing? Well, we would have to see. You know, that'd be interesting. But yeah, will it be affordable? Fuck no. Not with the way these handheld prices are. You know, you think they're good. Listen, this thing's probably not going to be dropping for another 2 years at least. You really think prices are going to go down in 2 years? You know, what did we keep telling you guys? When prices go up, they stay up. They never come back down, unfortunately. So yeah, this shit's going to be expensive. Get ready. It's going to be over $1,000. I'm not going to say the exact price, but obviously going to be over $1,000. That's for the handheld. How much you think the fucking console's going to cost? Fuck, you know.
Here's the thing. This is where I'm not so certain of that
Of the
price.
what do you think?
Over 1,000. I feel like I think it's going to be under 1,000, but obviously it's going to be closer to 1,000 than to 500. The reason is because
no Windows license.
Like Sony, yeah, no Windows license. I feel like Sony is not going to go, B's and knees with a tech like like Lenovo or Asus is doing. I feel like they're more set on doing their own thing.
Blue Ocean.
And yeah, and also like you mentioned, there's I don't think they're going to use Windows. They're going to use their own operating system like they do for everything else. So I feel like that's what's that's going to help as well. And I mean,
that's
I
a
feel
good
like
point.
this is, and also because it sticks to the larger point that I made a couple of weeks ago where I said this is the entry level now. The PS6 handheld is going to be the entry level to PS6 gaming, which means like if you want to play PS6 games, the cheapest way is to play it via the handheld, and if you want to play it somewhere else, it's like a PS6 console is going to be way more expensive, and that's how they're going to justify those ridiculous pricings.
So you think?
I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but that is an interesting theory. So it's like you think they're going to purposely keep the price down. Like you think they're going to just ignore how much the other handhelds cost and just be like, okay, this is our entry to the PS6. You might be right. Yeah,
because I feel like Sony doesn't really go all out when it comes to their handhelds in the specs. The only thing, like the OLED, was like the only thing, like crazy thing that they did for the Vita.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I mean, and the Portal, obviously the Portal barely has any guts in it, but it was $200. So for me, like if I think about it, if I think about what would I do if I was PlayStation, I would sort of put a handheld the equivalent of maybe like a $600 to $700 price point, and the PS6 is going to be like $800 around there. The cheapest PS6,
yeah,
$800 to $1,000. So I think that might happen, but who knows, man? That 2 years from now, who the hell knows what type of marketing conditions we'll be in?
Yeah, Syrian Air Force in the chat says prediction for the price is $499 to $699, 8-inch OLED with 1 terabyte of SSD. Maybe, but again, those are you're naming prices from 3 years ago. 2 years from now, man, we'll have to see.
It could be within that range. The one thing that I'll Syrian Air Force, the one thing that I'll tell you that's definitely not going to happen. You're not going to get a round storage number from Sony.
No, you're not. It's gonna be like fucking.
They're gonna give you some weird
547 gigs and shit.
This is 924 gigabytes.
Fuck, man. All right, another question from a Syrian Air Force. Should the base ROG Ally have started with 1 terabyte of storage, and the high-end model should it have had an 8-inch display? It would have cost more money for both of those. Here's the thing: you're never gonna get an 8-inch display out of this because they're using like basically the guts of the original ROG Ally, which is a 7-inch device, right? So you are never going to get a bigger screen. They're basically taking what they have around and just like, remixing it, So yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And it would have been nice if, it would have started with 1 terabyte, but that's not the usual standard for handhelds. The usual standard is 500 and with 512 gigs. So 1 terabyte was kind of unrealistic for a starting one, to be honest. I feel you, but neither of those scenarios were realistic, All right. All right. Oh, we got some sponsored questions here for Mr. Romudith. So this first one is another extra one from Assyrian Air Force. What was everyone's favorite TGS announcements? All right, let's. You know what, Rich? Since you weren't here for the big show, we could start off with you. You could name as many games that stood out to you as you want. But if you need time, you let me know.
Actually, yes, Tony, I hate to say it. I'm going to ask you to give me just a little bit of time, and I may be reminded of a few things after I hear what you guys have to say.
Fair enough. Well, you know, here's the ironic thing when I read this question. Even though we named a bunch of stuff, nothing really stuck out. The only one I could think of is Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, that was like the main thing that really got me hyped. No, not hyped, but like the thing that stood out. Like, oh, that's cool, Wolverine. They found, because it's ironic. I was doing the live blog for this event for Tom's Guide, and what we do is we do the live blog like we started hours early, right? So I was doing it. I'm just talking stuff, and I said, Wolverine, you're not going to see it here, guys. They're going to save that shit for a the other thing. That's not a state of play, whatever the fuck, showcase. What I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. The other PlayStation event. I'm like, they're going to save it for that because that other one's usually reserved for AAA. Although that could still happen, I was obviously wrong. They did show Wolverine, and it was actually pretty substantial, you know? Like, here's the thing. Capcom showed a bunch of stuff, but it's a bunch of stuff we had already seen, so it's hard to get excited about that. I don't remember anything exciting from the Xbox one other than, you know, Forza. I'm not excited for this. It's the most interesting one. Was Forza Horizon 6 coming to PlayStation? They didn't say it at the show, but it will be. And at the PlayStation show, seeing Microsoft Flight Simulator was wild, you know? But yeah, I think
I can answer for Rich.
Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, I think for me, by default, it's probably Wolverine because I can't really remember anything else that really stood out, despite the fact that we spent like an hour and a half talking about all the games, you know? But yeah, go ahead. You can answer for Rich.
Rich told me this in private, so you know, apologies, Rich, for putting our conversations into the airwaves. But he said he wasn't interested in a game like Hitman, but when he saw Bruce Lee in it, he said, "Game of the year."
Well, hold on a second. Now that you say that, I just have to make this comment.
Uh-oh.
I was I laughed when I saw that. You know, that they put Bruce Lee in this because that obviously I know they have, I guess they have some rights to use him in some of these games, but that just was so random to me because it's like, this is a Hitman game and you're teaming up with Bruce Lee to take out the person coming after him. It's interesting, but it's like, it's kind of weird. So I laughed when I saw that announcement.
Yeah. Rich, you ready to answer now?
Yeah, so to go based off of what you said, yeah, there wasn't much of anything that we knew. Obviously, the Capcom showcase, I did see that. It was a lot of the same games I already know were coming, you know, like Resident Evil, the Omnimusha game. Going to the Xbox event, yeah, Forza Horizon, I guess that's okay. I mean, that trailer showed pretty much nothing. And they're talking about this is coming in 2026. I didn't see not one damn gameplay, no gameplay footage whatsoever of you driving a car in Japan. So that was just like a hype reel, I guess you could say. But yeah, I will check it out for sure. But no, I think, yeah, it just might be Wolverine. And as I mentioned earlier, I am actually looking forward to Soros, even though this is just another Returnal. But I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly they're going to do based off of that little bit of gameplay that they showed in the actual conference.
Yeah. What about you, Carlos?
Yeah, I think Forza Horizon is probably one of the biggest ones that at least piqued my attention. The Wolverine game, like you guys have mentioned as well, is something that I'm looking forward to. Just for the simple fact that Insomniac has been making good games, and they gave us sort of the nod where it's like, yeah, this is gonna be you know, violent game. It's we're not holding back, which is it's a good sign. So hopefully they can live up to that. Yeah. Other than that, there wasn't really that much that piqued my attention. The Sorrows game, we'll see. Because at first it looked like I was watching a Gears of War game. I was like, oh shit, Gears of War, is it making someone's making someone's getting sued or something? But yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know Rich, do you know if they're gonna do the same thing with Returnal where it's like what do you call it? That the genre that Tony hates?
Yeah, it is. It's
roguelike.
It is.
Yeah, roguelike,
They'll-
procedurally generated. Yep.
Yeah, they're saying they even said in the trailer we're taking what we did from that previous game and essentially doing it again, but this time it's different.
Yeah, I like your name for it, man. He-Eternal.
Yeah, it's Eternal.
Yeah, because it's a guy. He-Eternal.
Oh.
I mean, it looks. They've actually said that this is different. This looks just like the same game we played, except for it's a different character.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing really else sort of got my attention. There's a lot of cool small stuff. The virtual what do you call it? The Monster Hunter Wild stuff.
Yeah, we saw that already. Yeah.
But nothing really else got my attention. I mean, Kojima stuff. Well, I will say the Kojima stuff was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We got to see more. They pretty much confirmed we're making PT.
Yeah.
That's which is pretty big. And the Fizzit, which I don't know why
it's a picture
that game. Yeah, I don't know why they brought it up really, because it's like just focus on OD, man. Just go OD on OD. And let that game shine. No one cares about Fizzit until we get a trailer or something.
Oh, the Yakuza 3 Kiwami's kind of cool. I'll play that.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Kiwami 3 and all that stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at because again, a lot of stuff we already knew, like Ninja Gaiden, we already knew that's coming. But yeah. Anybody else? THS highlights?
Yeah, I would have to say that I agree with you guys. There were things, but there wasn't really enough for me to be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was just like, but it's definitely, I'll say this, it's definitely more than we have gotten previously.
Yeah. It was.
Like where it was like there was a way more announcements coming out of TGS than let's say the previous year or all the years that we have really covered it, because all of it gets all pushed out early. Like we already know what everything is going on, so there's no things that are there. But at least this time they had some things that they were specifically for, maybe not fully in our interest, but at least it was something that could pique some interest. Like, oh, hey, they did this. They're treating it like a fucking game show again. Because since E3 doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Brian, did anything stick out to you?
Not really. I'm just happy that Crimson Desert got a release date.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's move on here. Another sponsored question. This one originally from Mob Hits. What do you guys think of Capcom announcing that this year's Capcom Cup finals for Street Fighter 6 will be a pay-per-view event? I think it's a horrible idea. You're basically making people pay for something they've gotten for free for years, So for you guys to know, Capcom Cup is basically, this is the finals where, all the big Street Fighter 6 players get together. And the prize pool is like a lot of money too. It's like over $1 million. So I'm wondering, is that the reason, they're fucking charging people? Apparently the tickets is like $40. I'm like, I'm not going to pay $40 for something I used to get for free. I watched Capcom Cup for free last year, So yeah, I think that's a bad move. I think a lot of people are going to rebel against this. The FGC is not going to be happy about this because, again, you're making people pay for something they've gotten for free. And then, I also don't want this to succeed, because what if they start doing shit like that for like Evo, right? Evo is always a big online event if you don't go to the shit. Now it's like, what, you have to pay for the Evo finals now? Like, I don't like it, man. Don't like. What about the rest of you guys?
I agree. I agree. It's a bad. It's a bad. It's bad to do that. If it was already established that it was going to be that way, then fine. But I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Yeah. So hopefully they go back on that, but we'll see.
Which specifically is this?
Capcom Cup.
Capcom. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's
because
yeah,
that's Cat.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know who the. I mean, obviously there's a target audience, but I don't know how broadly that audience goes.
Yeah, like again, I don't understand. I mean, besides greed, obviously, like what's the decision here? Like, oh, our fans will pay for this. Like, I don't. You're gonna have a lot less people watching this shit, bro.
Yeah, like do what everyone else. It seems, and also speaking of pay-per-views, like for example, I watched the Canelo Crawford fight, which was a huge fight, right?
Huge.
Normally, that would be under a pay-per-view, but
Yeah.
not anymore. That's on Netflix.
There you go.
That's on Netflix. Why don't they do something with a streamer like a Prime or
Oh,
Netflix?
that would have been. They should have done that. You know.
Or Twitch. Like
Yeah.
that's you get the bigger platform. You get a lot more eyes and on it, and you get cross what do you call it? Cross
promotion.
pollination when it comes to with a promotion. Yeah, when
Yeah.
it comes to the promotion with different streamers.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Like having it on Netflix would have gotten eyeballs for sure. You know.
Put it at the top of the thing.
That's it. It's weird. So we'll
Get
see.
100 million.
Because Capcom Cup is happening by the end of the year. So we'll see. All right, more questions here. Like I said, we got a lot of questions tonight. Jolly Yellow Nerd. Did any of you play Chronos: The New Dawn? It dropped a few weeks ago, and I haven't seen much chatter about it, good or bad. Maybe it's just an average game, which is honestly fine because not every game can be a AAA blockbuster. Yeah, this game kind of came and went, didn't it? Rich, I'm looking at you. Did you get to play Chronos?
Well, that is a phenomenal question, Tony. So yeah, this game came out at the very beginning of September when a whole bunch of other things were coming. I was sent a code while I was in Seattle at the Microsoft event the same day. And of course, it was another one of those games where there was a very quick turnaround time with the review embargo where they send you a code Friday and the review deadline is Tuesday. So it's like, no, that was not going to happen, especially when I was still in Seattle. So to answer the question, I haven't had a chance to really get into the game yet. I am going to get into it because I had already decided that, this game, Silent Hill F, and Dying Light, all three of these games came out in September. But obviously, October is Halloween month. So yeah, I'm going to play all three of these games going into October, and then I'll obviously talk about this game further on. But what I have seen so far, it has still been getting pretty good reviews. I think it's doing pretty decent on Metacritic as well. So, but again, it's like the timing of this game, there were too many things that dropped because the same time this game came out, you had Hollow Knight Silk Song. That's Carlos's game of the year, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You had this coming out at the same time. That first week of September, there was like 4 different games coming out all like every other day. So it definitely got lost in the shuffle. No doubt about that.
Yeah. No, you're right about that because I completely forgot about it. Completely. So, yeah. I guess everybody else forgot about it too. Because I think Chris was interested in it, but I don't know if he played it or not. Probably didn't because Chris is busy as fuck nowadays, but I know he was at least interested in it. But yeah. All right, next up here from Jolly Yellow Nerd. Will Pragmata be a title that really pushes the limits of the PS5? I ask because there doesn't seem to be a lot of PS titles that really push the hardware. I disagree with that. I think a lot of games push the hardware because they all run bad. It's not pushing it to its limit. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Metal Gear. According to Digital Foundry, Metal Gear and Silent Hill F and a bunch of other games can barely run at a consistent frame rate.
Yeah.
So,
because
but here's the thing:
but
Pragmata is not an exclusive title, though.
No, it's not.
Is it?
No, it's not.
So why would be the one that somehow pushes the boundaries?
Yeah, that's the part of the question I don't understand. Like, why did you pick that game specifically about the PS5? Because you could theoretically be like, is it going to push the Xbox to its limit? You know, in theory, you know. So,
I mean, I don't mean there's nothing in that game that I can see that really, it looks very nice. But I don't. There's nothing in that game that I can see that looks like it's going to break them to the point that they're, that they're going to be running at like less than 30 frames per second or something like that.
Yeah. Again, I don't understand why you picked that one, dude. Yeah, because it is a very nice game, and it is an actual new IP. Like, I feel like hell froze over. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because again, I played it on a regular PS5 and it ran well enough. But yeah, I don't think there's nothing. Yeah, and Rich, I want you to get into this, but it's like there's nothing about this that says, "Oh my God, this is a graphical powerhouse." Nothing really screams that, But what do you think, Rich?
Why would you say that with Animusha?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because can't you say that? I mean, if you want to be technical about it, you could say Monster Hunter Wilds pushes the PS5 limit because the shit can barely play it sometimes, So it's like, again, I'm not understanding why this game's why not other other RE Engine games? This is not really doing anything special. But anyway, Rich, what do you think, man?
Oh no, I also agree. I'm not sure why that particular game was a part of this question because I can't see it. I think the game ran pretty well when I played the demo as well. One game that I am very curious to see how it runs on PS5 is Crimson Desert. The game that Brian mentioned earlier, because I have seen demos of that game behind closed doors. Every time I see it, it's on PC. So I already know the PC version is where it's at, but I'm very curious to see how that runs on PS5. But one last thing I will add is, with this particular question, I think it would have made more sense if the game that was said is a game that is exclusive to PS5, such as, I don't know, Wolverine. Can that be the game that pushes the system to a limit? I think that's a legitimate question you can ask.
Because that's a exclusive, at least, until it comes to PC,
Yes.
But yeah, we'll have to see. All right, let's move on here. Illustrated Dio. He asked a bunch of questions about Doug Bowser versus Shawn Layden, so I just condensed them into kind of one. So yeah, his main question is, who was the better executive for their respective company? And then some of the other side questions were, what were your favorite decisions from each of them? Hey, there's Adam. And should they return to their positions if the opportunity arose? Those guys ain't going back. Doug Bowser just left Nintendo, bro. Like, he ain't going back. And Shawn Layden, he has been taking a lot of snipes at PlayStation, so he's not going back either, But the core question is, who was the better executive? I'm going to just say Shawn Layden by default because I don't know what the hell Doug Bowser really did for Nintendo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't like he wasn't like Reggie where he did a bunch of crazy stuff,
Yeah, well, I mean, Doug always felt like, like he was sitting in the seat and continuing whatever Reggie would have done. That's at least what it seems to me.
Yeah.
But also in this situation, there is a new, the new CEO kind of isn't the CEO though. It's actually a Japanese person that they're putting in the seat. Isn't there?
No, in America, it's some woman that Chris thinks is kind of troublesome. The specific lady.
No, but I'm saying like her position is sort of like a moot position because if there's somebody else that's sitting there too.
Yeah, so Chris says that
Doug leaving.
She's basically going to be taking orders from Japan.
Yeah, so it's like so Doug went. Maybe that's the tinfoil hat. Maybe that's the reason why Doug didn't want to stick around. They're just like, all right, Japan is taking head on this. Who could we get there to follow orders? I don't know, but anyway.
Okay, so here he goes. Bliss says she's only COO while the Japanese guy is CEO. So there you go.
Yeah, so she has a sort of
She's the
I
chief
hate to say
operating
this.
officer, and he's the chief, executive officer. Okay,
He's
go
the
ahead.
chief executive officer, so that means that, like, I'm sure she makes decisions, but she's probably going to be the one that talks whenever there's press releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CEO is
Yeah.
the decision maker. The CEO is essentially just do what the CEO says.
Pretty much. By the way, this is coming from Blitz, who is a ardent Nintendo fan. About this question, he goes, "There's no contest. Shawn Layden was the man. Bowser was more behind the scenes." Yeah, Shawn Layden was actually out there. Like, I believe he was one of the guys that I really championed the PlayStation experience when that was the thing. And he, and like even at that show, you would always see him around. I've talked to him a few times. Manny and I have at E3. Really good dude. Yeah, no, Shawn was very hands on. Like you could feel his presence. Whereas with Bowser, even though he had a very appropriate name, it never really, like you said, he always felt like a guy behind the scenes. But yeah, I don't really know what I could say his accomplishments were. Bowser, like Shawn Layden, obviously, again, he was really like the face of PlayStation. Pushed a lot of initiatives to bring it more to the people and stuff. But Bowser, I'm not shitting on the guy, but like you said, Blitz, kind of just a background guy. He would show up in the videos, obviously, but he did. He wasn't Reggie. Like that's you can't really Reggie is a once in a lifetime kind of guy. It's like it's hard to follow that up.
From Pizza Hut, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pizza Hut?
Well, no, Reggie.
He was from Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, remember what
Pizza and Coke, right?
Yeah.
Pizza and Coke. What's him?
I remember what Torrance used to call him. Reggie fills me up. Oh man. Bowser raised Switch 1 price to modern prices. That's funny. Only time Bowser really spoke was when he was trying to justify this $80 Mario Kart. Damn. That's true. All right. Move on here. Mob hits. How do you guys feel about the overabundance of crossovers in gaming lately? Is this a new form of keeping IPs from growing stale? And here's some examples. Delta Force X, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, The First Ascendant X Bayonetta, Monster Hunter Wilds X Final Fantasy, Helldivers 2 X Halo. I don't have a problem with any of this stuff.
You said it. Say it. Come on, you always do it. It's all about the money, right?
Yeah, the money. Yeah, the money.
That's it. They want to keep making that money, and as we know, it's for all platforms, it eventually dries up. Everybody already has it. No one gives a shit about it. So throw it to another audience and see if you can keep that flow going at least for a year or close to a year. And that's what it comes down to. Loyalties out the window when it comes to money. They don't give a shit. It's all about making the money.
Yeah, but yeah, generally I don't have a problem with this. Fine, I would be a hypocrite if I said I don't like crossovers. I do. I like Marvel vs. Capcom. But yeah, I don't have a problem with any of this stuff. What about the rest of you guys?
I don't see an issue with it, but yeah, I do definitely feel like it's a situation of them trying to keep their, to essentially introduce their IPs or bring attention to certain IPs just because they put these crossover characters in there. But man, I'll tell you one thing: crossover character shit is a bitch to solve years off the line when things go out of print and stuff like that. So good luck with that one. I mean, granted, you could do like stuff like what Call of Duty did with Predator. They just totally removed it like it never happened.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Yo, someone made it rain.
Who made it rain?
Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon got rid of the Predator.
Barry Burton and Valorant. Yo, shout out to both of y'all, man.
All right, there you go. Valorant the game? That'd be dope.
What? If it's the game, shout out to Valorant.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with crossovers. It's fine. It's raining right now. You guys hear it?
Yo, man, you playing Lucy in Guilty Gear, yo?
I still got to play that game. I still got to play Guilty Gear, but I do have it in all the DLCs, so I'm definitely good to go. I've been distracted by other games, among other things. But I definitely got to get guilty here.
Speaking of Edge Runners, that's coming as a really nice edition of that coming out on Blu-ray real soon. It's a good series. You should check it out.
It's a great series.
It's a great series.
Yep. All right. Another question for Mob Hits, and again, this was another topic I dropped for the Thursday show because there was just too much going on. But this one is crazy. What do you guys think of the recent news that EA will presumably be sold off to the Saudis? So I'm going to read this. This is from PC Gamer. The headline is, EA is reportedly about to be sold in a record-setting $50 billion buyout to an investor group that includes private equity and Saudi Arabia. So I'll just read this part and then we'll jump into it. According to the Wall Street Journal's anonymous sources, EA could be sold for as much as $50 billion, though the final price has not been agreed on. And EA has an estimated market value of $43 billion. The group of investors reportedly includes the private equity firm Silver Lake and the government of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. Fucking Saudi Arabia, man, just gobbling up gaming. Another
not
one.
Just gaming, everything, just sports
everything.
In general.
Yeah,
they're doing everything. They're doing it all. They got money for days, so they're like, "What do we spend it on?" And it's like, all right, well, let's start buying shit.
So Adam, what do you make of this? Because you like EA games.
They're gonna throw some. They're gonna put Ronaldo on the next cover of FC 27 because he plays out in the Saudi league, and they're gonna try to push that up there. Because remember, that was one of the other ones when they started spending all this money. Even now, getting all these pro players out of Europe and bringing them into the Saudi league, which no one watch. Yeah, no one watches that. So
yeah,
once one of your favorite players go, it's like, oh, they're gone. And I think it's not going to change much if they do buy EA, because it's still where the developer and teams are not all going to be moved out there. It's just an ownership group. They'll send some delegate. They'll hire somebody to run the US or UK operations. It's just they're the ones supplying the money, and they have money for days. So if people are complaining about certain games, this actually might be a good thing. Because it was like, hey, you guys are cheaping it on Mass Effect. Look at the artwork. Mm-hmm. Remember, they had to split the teams.
Yeah.
Well, there's no excuse here because these people have all the money in the world. So then it's like, hey, what was your complaint for the last one? Oh, the art design. We're going to get the best artists from around the world working. What's your other complaint? Oh, the voice actor, she's gone. We got this other one, the butter one. Here we go. What's your next complaint? We got the money. So, hey, this might be a good thing.
But I just see the issue with a government owning a private company. Granted, they're also not really a government in general. They are.
It's a family.
They're literally a bunch of private citizens that are in control of a country.
Yeah, put their name on it.
They are the royal family,
Whatever. They're just royal family in general, in all of those cases, just a bunch of rich people who just so happen to have control of a country.
And that's what makes this very interesting, because it's not about the money. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, we need this to make some money. We're going to turn a message. Exactly. It's sending a message. They have the money. They don't care, because whatever EA can produce financially is nothing compared to all the money they make from oil and other things. So I don't. This is just like you just said. Send a message, make a statement, throw their name on another product, just put that stamp. We got a WrestleMania that's going to Saudi Arabia. After this one that's in Vegas, and people are flipping out over that because they got the money.
I heard Rich is going.
Rich already got his plane tickets. He had to take out a loan and a few other things. Tickets are going for $8,000, and that's not including flights and all that other stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. People are so upset. No one's going there.
I'm laughing what a Syrian Air Force said. The Saudis will make female characters all covered up in the games. Oh man! Actually, this might talk about Mass Effect. Are they going to put Ronaldo in fucking Mass Effect? They put him in SNK, games. So why not?
He will be their Mario. They'll put him in everything.
That's the thing. That's the thing about a lot of this, because I think because they have so much control over it, and because they have all this status, they're going to start putting in like incongruities into games that nobody gives a shit about, like Ronaldo, like Homeboy the DJ.
Yeah.
Like Who gives a fuck about anybody in gaming gives any fucks about these people? I know that sports is the big thing, but not in the gaming world. It's like
they're not the only ones.
Manny, Fatal
Call
Fury
of Duty.
didn't sell shit. It sold horribly. Those extra characters didn't help at all. They probably hurt. You know,
Fortnite had Messi and stuff.
Nobody gives no fighting game fan gives a fuck about Ronaldo. You know,
but here's the thing: like Fortnite is a different story because it's sort of like an everything hub. Everything ends up in Fortnite, so it's fine.
Call of Duty also did it. Call of Duty had wrestlers and stuff running around with guns, and Cody Rhodes doing his finisher moves on people. It's like what?
I think the thing about it, we're talking about two different animals here. We're talking about a general audience sort of gaming, and then we're talking about a niche gaming like fighting games. And fighting game people don't give a shit about Ronaldo. Fighting game people don't give a shit about homeboy DJ, whoever the fuck that guy
Nobody
is.
knows him.
Like nobody knows who that guy is out here, except for what, Carlos. He was the only person that said, "Oh shit, that's this dude."
No, Carlos didn't know him, but it was my cousin. He was like, "You're the Salvatore Ganacci?" Like I was like, "Okay,
Ganacci."
But you're right. Like his
real name.
No, it's not. But that's his stage name. You know. No, but like every fighting game, big fighting game influencer, when that Ronaldo shit got announced, half of them were like, "Who? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, who's this soccer player?" No, but I didn't know who the fuck he was, you know?
To be honest, and then the thing is that
I'm American. I don't watch soccer.
They also the thing about it is they could have made that into a legitimately cool character. Like, it is an interesting idea having a soccer player in there, but that guy is literally the most unimaginative design that you've ever seen. It's just the guy in shorts. I'm like, nothing. Like, there's a soccer player in the game, Project Justice, the rival school.
That's
team.
right. Yeah.
Look at that guy. That guy looks fun. Like, you want to see what this guy can do. He's got a visor. He's got all this crazy stuff on. He looks interesting. Ronaldo is just like, okay, look, who let the sim into this game?
Yeah. But yeah, I've said this before. I'm not happy with this whole, Saudi Arabia buying games. I mean, because it's all like, what do they call it? Soft power they're projecting and stuff. And
it's a status symbol.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get too political about stuff, but these fucking greedy Westerners are just seeing the money and not seeing the impact on culture. But learn your fucking lesson. Learn your fucking lesson. I mean, go ahead. Keep doing business with them, guys.
And in general, it's like that's the unfortunate thing. It's a bunch of people who don't care about.
They don't care
what the product is. It's a bunch of people saying, "Hey, how much can I get out of this shit?"
The money.
That's it.
It's not even out, just not even leaving the country. We see that now with TKO, with Holdings, that when they purchase WWE and everything that they're doing now. Look, I just told you, WrestleMania is leaving the country. It's like, why are you doing this? They're jacking up all the prices for all the shows. They now put almost all these shows are all behind paywalls.
Yeah,
it's super expensive. $30 for ESPN. You have to pay from $9.99 you were paying over at Peacock. It's just. No one cares anymore. They're just pushing everyone's buttons to see how much they can get out of everyone. Like, we're all vending machines.
Let me give you an analogy.
Uh-oh.
This is the classic scenario and everyone went through it in middle school, high school, where it's the kid that's not that's only popular because they're rich. Could they hang out with the cool kids and stuff? And you're like, oh damn, I didn't know they were friends. It's like, oh well, yeah, this kid is rich, so like I think that's how it feels like, because it's, I don't know, man.
No, I agree.
Like,
Jagon, stop buying the game industry. Oh God,
his name is Jagon.
He likes to play
buy everything in the world.
That'd be hilarious if he was somehow part of it. You should really buy EA as your Grand Vizier. I strongly suggest that you buy EA, the WWE, and maybe the other company that is not Capcom.
Oh God!
I quit the industry so I can conquer the world.
Oh man. You know Jagon had oil money, man. That shit is crazy. But yeah, we'll have to see more about this EA thing. It's not finalized yet, but very troubling indeed, you know? All right, let's move on here.
Man, if that dude was rich, how come he didn't fund any shit?
You should have.
The fan zone could have sounded like a fucking $1 million.
Oh God.
You should have given $1 million to each of his fan zone co-hosts.
Yeah, man, y'all could have been, like funded. You could have had like sponsors, like Mahalamen and all the other ones,
Fuck. All right, man. Let's move on. Last two questions of the night, and they're both from Mr. Tumeke, who has been joining us in the chat all night. I see GZDR there. What's up, brother? All right. First up here, is it just me? Just like Brett, am I the only one? Is it just me, or has gaming social media chilled out now that Xbox is essentially third party? I don't see much in the way of fanboy bickering, and things feel almost calm, quiet, too quiet. It could also be that I just blocked all the assholes.
Tell that to Mike Ibarra.
Oh, Mike Ibarra, he is throwing bombs. What did he say about the Xbox? Like your console has no games. Like, yo,
your console. Yeah, I forgot. Let me.
What did he say? He said something crazy.
He said, "Your console is dead."
Damn.
This dude. Remember we were talking about him like not too long ago. Where I said something happened when freaking Microsoft. He is a spiteful motherfucker, man. He hates them.
Just like Jeff Keighley with the ESA, something happened.
And the E3 committee.
The E3 committee.
Played him. They didn't want to give him the money. That's what it came down to. Remember, they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah. But again, I think to make it might be a case of you not blocking the assholes. So I still see the same bickering I always see every time, man. It's actually heated up. The Xbox guys are really going ham now.
It's the internet. We always talk about that's not the really real world.
Yeah.
No,
we're talking. He's talking about. Well, he's specifically talking about the internet.
Yeah, because the really real world, people don't care.
Yeah.
You talk to people on the street. I remember I have a bunch of friends that are on Xbox and all. It's like, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
They play on what they play on. If they have both of them, they have both of them. They don't care. It's like, I'm playing on this.
Yeah, no, that's the real world. But social media, at least in my opinion, in my observance, is the same as always. Actually, more ramped up now. The Xbox guys are really getting crazy because they don't have any games to call their own. And it's even gotten so bad that our boy Tim Dog is now back on the Xbox camp. Remember, he was a hardcore Xbox guy for years. Then he felt slighted because the game started coming to other platforms. Then he moved over to PlayStation. The PlayStation guys rejected him, so now he's back on Team Xbox, and he's going ham. But shout out to you. You lost some weight. You're looking good, so that's good. But, the fanboy wars rage on as always, man. They have not abated, even though the console war is fucking dead, It's over.
But when was it? I mean,
it's been going on this whole time. It hasn't stopped.
It hasn't. And maybe people's minds. But think about it.
Well, you're not on social media. That's the thing. You don't see this shit.
Because that's not real, man.
Yeah,
that's not real.
Yeah, but Adam, ever since we've been doing Throwdown, we've had to deal with crazy fanboys coming at us. My entire career has been that.
Well, that was Nintendo. Nintendo got
No. I'm talking about no. That was the most egregious one. But I've always had problems with the Xbox guys since day one, so yes, it's fake, obviously, but I'm talking about in terms of social media, the shit has never stopped. It's been a constant thing for my entire career, dealing with these fanboys, and other journalists, and Rich could vouch for this too, have to deal with these fucking idiots, so that shit has never ended, man. And these guys are holding on. They're like the Japanese guy who didn't realize the fucking war's over. It's like, guys, that's it. But hold the line. Hold the line, as the Xbox guys love to say.
No, they can still have it. It's still there. It's just I don't see it as a war, because a war implies it was like a lot of back and forth. No.
Well, there is on Twitter. You never see this stuff.
That's not the money. That's not the money.
Yeah,
man.
but you're talking about something else, man.
Care about. These are people just obsessed that have nothing else to think about.
Yeah, that's their whole life.
There's other things. That's sad.
Yeah, that's their whole life.
That's sad. because it's not real. These companies don't care about them.
They don't realize
We
that.
see that they don't care about any loyalty or any of that shit. If they did, then they fucking send you shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here, thanks for loving us. We're gonna give you all kinds of shit. They don't.
Yeah.
They
No,
just
but
jack up the price of everything.
Just jack up the price. Hey,
Yeah,
you should feel privileged that you're going to be paying more. For
they
an
say
Xbox
that like I'm proud to be paying for Game Pass. Like no, the constant like stupid console war stuff. It's just been dumb. It's been really silly. And I'm like, you guys, and a lot of these guys are grown men with families doing this shit. You know, even today there was a bunch of stuff going around. I'm like, guys, it's a Sunday. Stop. Take a day off. Even the fucking Lord stopped for the final day. It's like, take a fucking break. And he's the fucking God. You're a dumbass on the internet. Take a break. You know? It's crazy, man. But yeah, what do they say? Yeah, war never changes. Console war never changes, you know? GZR, that is not a gaming question. So ask that during a, whatchamacallit, AMA.
AMA.
Yeah. All right. What about?
I
ahead,
do
Adam.
find it funny
Yeah.
though that all these people were bitching about all this stuff with Activision. Remember, they're like, "Oh, once Microsoft does it, that's it. They're gonna destroy. They're gonna take over. They're gonna do." Crickets. It has not happened. They
Yeah.
did not take over. They did not overthrow Sony.
Not yet.
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen until Sony says, you know what, we're closing up shop. We're doing a blowout sale. Everything must go. We're getting into futons or some dumb shit. You know, I don't know, which will never happen. So I don't see it. I don't see it.
How do you know
Just
they're
like
not into futons?
No, they only make 5 of them. I've seen them on eBay, but they're not going to make it a full-time business. Just like insurance, they do insurance, life insurance, but that's not a full-time business. So
Yeah. What about the rest of you guys who are on social media? Have you noticed a change in the console war?
I don't pay attention to any of it.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
don't
the question was for the
automatically
people
read
who
things.
are paying attention to it.
I'm on social media, yo.
right, you just said social media.
Yeah.
He
You said
discredited
social
you.
media. You didn't say if I was paying attention to the so stupid ass.
I did say that actually, but it's okay. But yeah, Manny does it right. He doesn't pay attention to that stuff.
No, it's all like again, like I don't automatically read things as soon as I see it. So if I'm seeing a bunch of text coming from a specific person, I'm like, oh, they're complaining about something. I don't want to read that. I just keep scrolling. If I see now, if there's a picture, now I'll be like, ooh, picture, ooh,
Likes those pictures.
Yeah.
yeah. Picture might get me to read something.
Yeah. Fair enough. What about the rest? Rich, what about you, man?
Well, to answer the question, I think it's pretty hilarious. You know, like you said, the fanboys, they have gone through the stages of grief ever since Phil Spencer said a long time ago, we're not competing with Sony. He has said that multiple times throughout as long as we have been around covering video games. This guy said this a long time ago. So now it's funny that he had to go through all of this to say, okay, now these games are coming to PlayStation. We're only going to do 3 games, guys. So don't worry. You know, as soon as he said that, I said, yeah, that's it. It's over. So,
Actually, I believe it was 4. I think it was 4, but you're right.
It was 4.
Yeah, but you're right. We knew that was, yeah.
We saw it was what it was.
He kept
saw it
flip-flopping.
for what it
Every
was.
interview after that was like, oh, it's a case-by-case thing. Remember? He was like, we're going to see how these do.
Yeah.
It was always some bullshit. We knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, the stages of grief for those that don't follow this, the fanboys, they were in denial. That was the start, right? First, they were in denial. No, what he said, that can't be true. He's just talking out of his ass. Then they went to anger when they realized, wait a second, all of these games are coming to PlayStation? Then they start to bargain and think to themselves, okay, so how can I get something out of this? This goes to Tony's point when you're talking about what is it? What is the guy's name again? Todd?
Tim Dog.
Tim Dog. Yeah, the guy who decided, well, let me go to PlayStation now. And of course, he went over to PlayStation side and got rejected. Then, of course, depression. You know, obviously depressed that things didn't work out. And then finally, the final stage, acceptance. This is why he is back over now to the Xbox side, because he has accepted, well, I don't care. I have an Xbox. I love Xbox, but I'm just going to play this game regardless. I'm going to play the game on Xbox. I'll still play PlayStation, but I'm accepting now it is what it is, but I'm not going to complain about it. So I think it's hilarious, though. Very entertaining.
Yeah, no, that was a good breakdown of the 7 stages of grief. That was brilliant. Yeah. What about you, Carlos? You see anything on your end?
No, the only stuff that I see is through the Discord.
Oh yeah, those guys post
I'm
stuff.
hardly on Twitter or any of that.
Discord or in the personal chat. You like somebody saying, "You see this shit?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lol.
that's the only exposure I have to that bullshit. So I'm glad that it's not something that I see every day.
Yeah. Brian, what about you?
I'm kind of the same with Carlos here. I don't really follow it as much as I used to, mainly because I just don't have time for it, and I generally don't care. It's I've gone past the point of needing like console war nonsense in my life. It's more fun just to play a game. I know this is funny, right? It's more fun to play the games than do console war stuff. So I don't really see it, but
I'm really surprised with you, Tony, that
What do
you
you
even
mean?
see this. Because remember when you started this new job, you were doing tech stuff. You said, "Hey, I'm going to focus on tech stuff. I'm not really going to be doing game stuff. It's tech stuff." So I'm really surprised that you even pay attention to any of that.
It's not that for me. It's not that I pay attention. I just have to just open up Twitter and I see it. I don't look for it. It's just always there, And to be honest, like a lot of people, they don't really care. Even though obviously tech is my main job, they don't care about that. They just care about my gaming takes.
But by the way, you also do feed into the algorithm of what is getting served to you, right?
Yeah, and what have I been doing for years?
The plain fact that you clicking on those things in the past, that's why they appear.
Yeah, because obviously I was knee deep in it. Man, the arguments I used to get with these guys for hours and shit. It was crazy. But that's still a part of it. But again, literally, I don't have to look for it. I just have to open up Twitter. I see it, every day. Like I said, it's actually gotten worse because these guys are like they know the war's over, so it's time to go crazy now. It's nuts. All the podcasts that focus on this stuff. Like none of that shit's changed, man. All right, and the last question here. This one we've kind of touched on before, but it's a fun topic. Let's say gaming continues down this track of every game being a Souls-like or laden with DLC and season passes or whatever else kills your personal gaming boner. Would you continue to game by going retro? If so, which generations would you spend the most time in? Or would you just say, fuck it and find a new hobby? Now, again, I've talked about this many times over the years. Matter of fact, I even wrote about this back in Cool Stuff the blog. So I've been talking about this for 15 years. I'm like, if we ever get to a point where every game is in massively multiplayer, first-person shooting, whatever the fuck it is now, I'm done. I'm going back to the retro stuff, But ironically, now that every game's a fucking remake, I am playing retro. So I'm already there. But so is everybody else. Remember, we did that report on Thursday, how they said, like, a lot of people, like, what was it, 90% of people have played a remake? Of course they have. That's all you fucking get now, So I don't even have to make an effort to play retro games. That's all we get. And you know what? I'm good with it. There's not only retro games, but what happened, Adam?
You're leading into it, but this is what people want to ask for. How many times do people say, "Man, bring back that old game. I want that. Bring this back." And well, that's what we're getting.
Yep, we're getting what we deserve. But the other cool thing, and Adam, I know you'll like this. We're also getting sequels of retro games, which I like. Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden, it's dope stuff.
Where's my final fight?
Yeah, we're
in the final fight. Cut the bullshit. Get tribute. The guys that did Turtles and doing the Marvel, get them behind this shit. Bring in final fight.
I would love if Dotemu did that, Lizard Cube. And
I want create your own character and that with that 16-bit pixel, and I want to put myself in the game.
Put yourself in the game.
I want to put myself in the game. I belong in the game. I've been playing it long enough. Throw me in the game like Tron. That's it. That's what I want. Why can't we do that? Do it. Make it so, number one.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, I'm doing this in general with like just media. I don't watch new TV shows anymore. I barely go to the
that's
movies.
sad.
It's just
That's
everything's
sad.
just so bad now. You know, gaming
Oh,
is like
there's
the
some
last thing,
good
and even
stuff.
that stuff is like,
No,
you
there's so
know.
many good shows.
Yeah, I mean, I know you have the TV terminal, obviously, but for
Oh,
me,
I love there's so many good shows.
yeah, but yeah, so and again, to make it, you're still there. You know, I've been playing a lot of the Nintendo Switch classics and shit. I mean, what do you call it? Nintendo Online, Super Mario World and shit. So there's plenty of old stuff to go back to. You know, you don't have to just keep playing. But again, like I said, we're getting everything's a remake now, so you're playing retro regardless. Yeah. What about the rest of you guys?
Nothing's changed for me.
Everything's the
Nothing will
same?
change for me because I always play old shit. We remember
Yeah,
that
that's
was a
right.
running joke of all this shit. I can't let go of anything. Look at my fucking room with all the toys.
You've
and the shit
been
that Manny
retro.
sends me. I am. That's it. If there was a train that moves on in life and then like different sceneries and stuff, I got off years ago, and I'm still way back a few stops. You know, it's like, yo, where's Adam? Yo, he's stuck in 1990.
He's in the retro terminal.
Fucking
There you go, the
terminal.
retro terminal.
Shit, it's like I buy a lot of shit, but nothing. It's just crazy. Fuck, I'm still over here wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt. What the fuck? You know, it's some dumb shit. But it's just how things are. You like what you like, and this is what people need to understand. Don't buy into the whole thing of like you have to go with what's new. Don't treat it like
Yeah.
fashion. You know, in New York, we see it, the fashion show. Oh, they're going to show the fashion runway in Bryant Park, and this is what the new hot trends. No. We get that. You just want me to buy more shit. I don't need that shit. You like what you like. You play what you play. You watch what you want to watch, and just keep going with it. The music you listen to, still like it. So I was like, oh,
That's
listen
it.
to new shit. I listen to new shit. It's not as good as the other shit.
Mhm.
Stick with the other shit, and you can get surprise when you look them up and you see it on Spotify. Those guys are still touring. A lot
Yeah.
of the bands that you're like, oh, they disappeared. No. They haven't disappeared. Things have changed. Radio has changed everything. But go ahead, go online, click on the live events, and I bet you they're touring in a town near you. You know, and then stick
Yep.
with it. That's it. You don't need to keep pushing forward and going along with all that. Like what you like and stick with it and have a good life. That's it.
No, I agree. Carlos, get in here because I know you said it doesn't matter to you anyway since gaming is not one of your main hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've always gone back to where, gaming, I don't really feel like that, I wouldn't feel that devastated if gaming ceased to exist.
There
Just
you
because there's
Your
a
Nintendo
lot of
be
other,
gone. You love Nintendo.
and, I love Concord more than Nintendo.
All right.
And when that died, I died. Anyways, the whole thing with gaming is, it's something that I enjoy a lot, and it's something that I try to do as much as I can. But it's not sort of fundamental as much as it used to. There's a lot of other things, that I'm caught up with that, it takes even more time than my gaming time. So, like Tony mentioned, if anything happens, if I want to, scratch that gaming itch, there's always going to be a huge backlog. I got a Steam library built with 90% of games that I haven't played.
No, you're right
And
about that.
I was talking about Richard. Remember yesterday when we were recording the Daryl Dixon? I was talking about Mark Echo's Getting Up and how that's still available
Oh, wow.
on Steam. And that was that was like Assassin's Creed, but for graffiti. If you never played it, go play that. That was a fun one. You tag up everywhere. Had real taggers and bombers. Obey was in there, a bunch of others. It was cool. I love that game. So,
It stole from that one game. What was that game called, Tony? Ananta?
Yeah,
Drone
Ananta,
Radio.
the everything game. It's crazy. All right, what about the rest of you guys? Would you go full retro if you don't like what's happening in modern gaming?
I mean, I sort of have been kind of, I've been playing older games here and there just because I don't know. My gaming habits have never, at least as of late, have really, it's the offerings have been few and far between, and I just like, you know what? I'll go play something old. You know?
Again, over the past year, I've been having a blast playing a bunch of old fighting games. A lot of them because they're re-released. You don't have to, just like Adam said, you don't have to play the new stuff, man. You got old stuff. By the way, Adam, shout out to you, man. Because of you going ham with the Def Leppard show, I started listening to more Def Leppard. It's been years since I'd listened to Def Leppard, and it still hits, man. It's still so good.
It still hits. I'm telling you, I started crying at that show.
Yeah, my man.
And I was getting so much because it brings me back to this real far back. Manny remembers when I lived in 10th Street Avenue D, and I got my first disc player, and I brought it up. Hysteria. That album was one of my first ones
man.
that I ever had on CD. So when I listen to these songs, and I'm like, man, this has been part of my entire life. This is part of these tracks have been on my soundtrack since I was 8. It's a big deal. So to see them live, and this was my first time seeing them live, and
they still sound good too.
Still sound good. They're in their 70s, still doing it, still rocking. And it was just it was emotional, and to see everyone around, and my daughter even said, she's like, they're all these old people. I'm like, yeah, and it's packed. That's the thing. People, they still like what they like, still listen to what they want to listen to, and will still support them. And that was the big takeaway. And even when Elliot was talking about the singer, he was like, hey, they turned on the house lights, like, you're all here. They said rock is dead, but you're not. We're all here, and we're gonna keep rocking.
Rock is it's in your heart, man. This shit'll never die, man.
Love it. It's there. Don't go with, oh, well, I don't hear it on the radio. You don't hear a lot of shit on radio. Doesn't mean that it's disappeared.
Yeah, so that's been fun for me. Like obviously I've been listening to a lot of Ozzy, and that's opened a door to all the other stuff, man. It's just good, man. I'm going to fucking, work. I'm just hearing fooling, I'm like, yeah, let's go. What's
some Slaughter? Slaughter's good. Yeah. Riot.
Up all day, sleep all day. That's right. Oh man, that's some good stuff, man.
These are classics.
Damn, there was something I was going to bring up. It was off topic, but it's still on that. But yeah, no, it's just good stuff, man. Listen to the old shit, bro. You don't need. Oh, that's what it was. This is off topic.
They're still around. All those that we just.
They're all still. Yeah.
Quiet, right? The Slaughter's still out there too.
So this is what I wanted to bring up. This is off topic, but it's still slightly on topic because the influencer I'm talking about is typically streams video games. This girl called Stacy RPG, right? But her other side thing is she reacts to old music videos, right? So Adams, this girl's like probably in mid-20s, early 30s at most, right? She listened to White Snake Still at Night. You remember that song, right? And she's literally getting turned on by it, by David Coverdale doing his thing, right? And at the end of it, she said something that got me, man. She was like, why, if she asked us earnestly, why doesn't modern music make me feel this? I was like, fuck. See, it's not just us old guys talking this stuff. No. This is a young girl. She says, like, the way that song made her feel, like nothing that's new makes her feel like that.
She needs to listen to November Rain, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, she did a reaction to that. She's crying.
Yeah, because there's so many. They have messages, unless you want to listen to Warren and all that, and that was trash.
She loved Def Leppard too. When she heard that shit, it's funny. She's dancing just like the girls in the video. It's hilarious. Like, listen, it's all connection, man. It's like if the stuff was good before, it's always going to be good.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was expecting, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it won't, but we've seen this where there's trends, right? And music, and then people, the artists of today take old beats from the 80s or whatever. And I kept saying, oh, this is going to happen on rock. We're going to see it. We saw a little bit with Wigwam and stuff like that, but it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet. And my fear is just that when these older bands do fade out, that
it's over.
It's over.
It is over. I still maintain, and again, not to go off topic, I still maintain that pop culture died around the mid 2000s. Like it's just been regurgitating everything. We haven't really had anything. We've had some stuff, but really it's all been recycled. Every fucking movie's a remake now. Every game's a remake. The only bands that are on tour are the bands you like. It's like the old shit. It's upsetting. Like culture just died.
I mean, think about like thrash metal. Like where is that now? Is that even a thing? Like
no, it's all
it's
like
still, it is
it's still there.
Still a thing.
Yeah.
but it just hasn't evolved in
Yeah.
the amount of
No.
years that it.
I remember,
Like you'll hear,
Yeah.
you'll hear a new thrash metal band, and they'll sound
like the old thrash
the old
band.
ones.
I remember I took like a break, not a break, but I just didn't listen to newer metal for like good 5 years. Then I listened to some new stuff. I'm like, you guys haven't changed. It's still the same shit, you know? So I don't know, man. And yeah, go ahead.
The funny thing with all this is like the same conversations were going around in the 90s where all the, you know, the older boomers hated the 90s music. Like they thought it was just all this aggressive, you know, get all your feelings out type of music, you know, and slap someone. And, you know, it was like, oh, you know, they're not Pink Floyd. They're not the Beatles. They're not Rolling Stones. So it's like, this happens a lot. But yeah, like, but going to the whole rock point, that is something that is definitively happening. Rock is dying.
Yeah.
That is, or it's almost dead.
If I'm being pessimistic, man, I think it is dead. It's just the old guys keeping it going. You know, it's like a fucking Carlos. It's like, you know, the universe like 15 billion years from now. There's a couple of stars still shining, some dwarf stars and shit, but the big ones are gone. You know,
there was a so I mean. Some people know this. I mean, the Nine Inch Nails, you know, Trent Reznor, Manson,
they were playing recently.
They break up, they get back, it's friendships and stuff. But it was an interview a while back, well, maybe like a year or two ago. But they were talking to Trent, and you know, he's doing all these other things in his life, movies and shows. He does soundtracks. But they had asked him in the interviews, like, where do you think rock is now? How do you think it? He's like, it's not the same, to the point that, and it was a long part, but he basically said that he remembers when it would bring feels and make people angry, and the only time he remembers that last happening was with Manson. Remember, they were boycotting events, and they were saying he was promoting the devil. Some states were paying him not to perform in their town. He's like, that's badass. That's rock right there. That's when you feel like this is doing something. He says, I don't see that.
That doesn't happen because nobody cares about rock anymore.
He's like, no one can, he was like, I don't hear those reactions anymore. I see the raps beefs and stuff going on, but I don't see it in rock. I don't see that emotion that comes from it. It's
there's no time to discriminate.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, about retro games, anybody else want to chime in?
Just play the games you like.
Yeah.
That's it.
Head like a hole.
Yeah, you go.
Oh,
Even if it is
Bow down before the one you serve. Oh man.
Yep. Every day is exactly the same. Man, that song, every time I listen to it, makes me emotional. It's true. It's like fucking every day is exactly the same. Everything's going on the same route. We do get up, go to sleep, deal with life, all the bullshit.
Yeah, no, lately I went back to, you know, my favorite singer, Dio, you know, listen to a lot of that. The old stuff will never leave, man. It's always there for you when you need it. You know.
But I was just gonna say, with the games, like, even if someone said, "Well, I like playing this game," eventually that game will be old and it will qualify as retro.
Yep.
You know,
listen, PS2 games are fucking retro now. You know,
PS2 games,
they're retro.
Damn,
Adam, I'm gonna fuck you up. Yo, Xbox 360 games will be retro next year. Think about that.
What was it? I was wearing my Echo sweater at work, and the guy at work said, "Yo, you taking it back?" He's like, "I didn't know that." I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" So I asked my daughter. You know, she's in middle school. I'm like, "Do you see any of this?" I looked up online. They're still around. The clothes are still there.
Yeah.
Nope. Nobody wears that shit. Nobody.
That's
they
it.
wear other stuff. They wear what's it? She said, I think it was Gap.
Psycho Bunny?
Gap is big. Gap is big.
Oh, Gap is
Remember
still around?
Gap? And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's what
The
I said. I'm like,
Gap?
shit. The Gap. She said, that's a big deal. Kids like wearing a Gap. I'm like, shit. All right, that was a big deal even back in our day.
Yeah, back in
But
the day,
yeah.
that's still.
I mean,
it's
I
still
don't feel
a-
like it was a big deal. I think it's just people wore it because it was.
It was like
convenient.
rich people clothes and shit.
Yeah, but it was always
the
in the
Gap.
malls and stuff.
Wasn't it? Like,
Gap was
Not the
cheap.
Gap.
Gap was cheap.
No.
oh, so which one am I
I
thinking
Remember
about?
clothes.
You're
Banana
thinking about
Republic.
Banana Republic.
Maybe.
Abercrombie. Shout
Yeah.
out to Dana.
Hollister.
You know.
That was there.
Also,
But
also Carl Kanai.
Yeah, what happened to Carl
Kanai
Kanai, you know?
he's gone.
Carl
What happened to
Kanai,
Cross
they're
Colors?
Still around.
gone.
Cross Colors and Carlton, I actually do still have websites.
That's
You can
crazy.
Actually, go buy like retro like shirts and
Damage
stuff from them.
and stuff. There was brands, but Guess, that was a big monster.
I remember
one.
Guess,
had the
yeah.
Triangle, and then that disappeared. Levi's is still relevant. I just bought a pair of Levi's. I still got a pair of Levi jeans.
Boss, I don't hear as much these days.
Oh yeah,
Hugo?
Hugo, let's go, son.
That's it. Yeah. A German company.
AKA the company that designed the Nazi uniform.
Yeah, listen, we got to move on, you know?
Someone's got to make a living.
I got to move on. You know?
They were like, hey, we're making.
Listen, we
suits
all
for the
done shady
government.
shit in the past.
Yeah, all those people that did that have long gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in the ground.
Those are 80-year-old tweets, man. Come on.
Yeah, they really are.
Hey,
Kind of,
we
by the
don't
way,
wanna
is-
talk
No,
about Ford.
there's one motherfucker with a head in a jar that's still around.
Man. Very interesting. They're called like
Pragmata.
it was like Hugo Boss. Shouldn't it be like is that short for anything? Like Hugo Bossenheimen or some shit? Like that's not very German, you know. Boschstadt or some shit.
I mean, all of them go back that far with those things. Volkswagen.
Yeah,
same
man.
thing, all that.
We make the
I mean-
tanks for you.
Exactly. Ford partnering up and doing shit. Remember, it's.
Yo, I was talking to my boy Jeffrey about this. Like, you know, after World War II, all Hitler's relatives, they all changed their last name real quick. Like, you know, like, no, that's not my last name. Don't look into it.
Damn,
you know?
that's not a joke though. I remember years ago. You probably remember this. It was
Yeah.
all over the news. If some family went into a Walmart to have a birthday cake made,
Yeah.
and it was for Hitler.
Oh,
And
shit.
like what? They found out that it was for their kid. They named their kid that.
Whoa.
And they took them to court. Child Protective Services came after them and did.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's how bad that name is.
Yeah, no, that name, Adolf is tainted too. Nobody's called Adolf anymore, bro. That shit is done. And that mustache, you can't say, oh, it's Charlie
do it.
Chaplin. Nope, he fucked that up.
Man, it even fucked up Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it did. I remember that. Man, Michael Jordan, it was just Charlie Chaplin.
Can't do it.
He's like,
right.
he's like, Charlie Chaplin used to wear that. I'm gonna bring it back. No, you ain't.
No, you ain't.
Stained.
No,
Certain
man.
things get stained. You can't do it. It's
That's
done.
it. Because, you know, there's probably still relatives of him around now. Like, no,
Oh,
we
yeah,
changed our last name real quick.
He
Oh,
had a
man.
sister and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Vasti's good. All right, man. So wrapping it up here. Another good show. Adam, what's going on at the TV terminal?
Whole lot of stuff still covering Gen V. We just posted today Tulsa King episode 2 for season 3. That got renewed for season 4, so we're thrilled by that. You know, Stallone, man, he's a legend. Been watching all the Rockies with my son because he's into boxing. Exactly. So now we just finished Balboa, Rocky Balboa. Love that movie. One of my favorites between the first and that one. We call it Rocky 6. Doing that. Just recorded Slow Horses right before jumping into here. That's for season 5, episode 2. Doing that. And then, again, I'm going to give this shout out. We did a recording, Rich and I and Carlos, for Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, for episode 4. And go on the Coalition site and click the hype button. There's a new button now. Hype. This episode was awesome. This was an awesome episode. One of the best in Walking Dead franchise history. The action, the cinematography, the way they did it. We go deep talking about this and gushing over it because it was such a good episode. And we want this video that we made to get the rounds to let everybody know that not only should they be checking out the show, but also the actual show on AMC. Daryl Dixon, one of the best spin-offs that you could have on any show. So that's another one. Just shout that out also over at the Coalition. And yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff we're also doing in the terminal, covering all these shows. So
Good stuff. Rich, what's coming up on the Coalition this week?
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate what Adam said. The latest episode of Daryl Dixon, that was a very good episode. Definitely check out that review. I will be posting it on the website here momentarily. As for the other stuff going on at the Coalition, there are quite a bit of reviews that I'm still working on that I will have.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to say about Ghost of Yote. I have a lot of things to say about Final Fantasy Tactics. But aside from that, I also have other stuff I'm playing that, I can't talk and say anything about yet. But what I will say is, stay tuned to the website as well as the Coalition Gaming channel, because you're going to see a lot of stuff going up throughout this entire week. So stay tuned.
Good stuff. Man, you got anything?
Yes, I certainly do. So, just got this pretty recently, which is the issue 1 of Street Sharks, which is drawn by Carter Randolph and colored by myself, which is out now. You can go to a store and get it. So that is out right now. Also, my Power Rangers 9 number cover that I fully illustrated. You can still pick that one up. Also, the next one up out of the nostalgia tour is the TMNT Journeys number 2. Carter Randolph cover and colored by myself. That one has a nice little special tribute to our friend Edwin Nebritz, who passed away over the summer. We put a little tribute to him on that cover. So TMNT 2003. So good stuff. So there's that's out there, going to be coming soon. Also, coming very, very soon is New York Comic Con, which I will be at the show. I will be at Artist Alley Table I-23. So be sure to drop by, say what's up if you're in town. We're gonna set up a little time and a place for because Tony's gonna be is also gonna be there too. Yeah. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, man. I think that's it. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord and check us out on your favorite podcast app. And remember, as Barry Burton just says, hashtag boycott NYCC, except for Manny's table. All right, guys. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Good week, everybody.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good week, everyone.
And Brian Manjoma.
Later, people.
All right, guys. We'll be back on Thursday. Peace.
Laters.